Hi, I'm Jens from LD Systems, and I'm happy to introduce you to the new DAVE G4X series. DAVE is a compact, easy to use and powerful 2.1 PA system for musicians, entertainers and DJs. Each DAVE system consists of one subwoofer and two satellites. The whole series starts with the DAVE 10, then we have the DAVE 12, the DAVE 15 and the DAVE 18 system. If you're wondering where the name comes from, it comes from the size of the subwoofer. So the 10-inch subwoofer gives the name for DAVE 10, while the 18-inch subwoofer gives DAVE 18 its name. The difference between the systems is not only the size of the speakers, it's also the amp power. It ranges from 340 watts RMS for DAVE 10 up to 2 kilowatts of amp power RMS for the DAVE 18 system. What all those systems have in common, they have been completely redesigned, featuring great new acoustics. They are more durable because we use a special coating on the enclosures. We made them lighter, and they feature an integrated mixer. The self-powered subwoofer also contains the amplification for the satellites and the mixer and the DSP. You can set up the satellites on individual loudspeaker stands, but also using loudspeaker poles to set it up on top of a subwoofer like we did here. We also offer T-bars to position two satellites close to each other. There are two different tilt angles for the satellites of the 12, 15 and DAVE 18 system. We recommend the 5-degree tilt angle for seated audiences, and you can change the tilt angle just by moving the satellite to a different hole for standing or dancing audiences. The connections to the satellites should be made using speak-on cables. So let's take a closer look at the acoustic design of the new DAVE series. As you can see here, not only the high-frequency unit is using a horn, also the low-mid driver is within a horn. By this design, we are able to control the dispersion of the system in the horizontal and in the vertical plane in a better way. The constant directivity horn of the high-frequency unit is enabling us to get very few coloration if you are listening on different horizontal access points to the system. And this is a very important factor if you use the system in a room or with microphones. You get less feedback if you have a very controlled dispersion pattern. So quite interesting is that while the DAVE 12 is using just one high-frequency driver, we actually use two high-frequency drivers for the satellites of DAVE 15 and 18. By this, we get less distortion and higher output in the high-frequency range, and we have 30 degrees vertical dispersion in DAVE 15 and 18. The subwoofers use specially designed woofers with high output and low distortion, and we use specially designed bass reflex ports to reduce airflow noises. Now let's take a closer look at the mixer. For smaller events, the system can be used without the need of an external mixing desk, just by using the built-in 6-channel mixer of DAVE. Channel 1 and 2 is reserved for mono sources like a guitar, a bass, or a microphone, or other line sources. 3 and 4 is for stereo signals like the output of a mixer or the output of a stereo drum machine or an E-drum kit. Channel 5 and 6 can be used for high-quality digital connections using an optical cable, but also for Bluetooth streaming. By holding this button, I'm able to pair my Bluetooth device with DAVE and can use channel 5 and 6 for Bluetooth streaming. So let's dive into the mixing desk a little more. When I connect a source, for instance a mono source like a guitar, I can adjust the level of this source here, and I have to select which input I want to use. Right now I connected the guitar and I switch to the high Z input for this high impedance output signal of an electric bass or an electric guitar. By holding the button, I can switch to line, and now if I would connect the line output of a keyboard, for instance, this would be the right choice. If you want to connect a microphone, you have to switch to mic, and now XLR input should be used. For each mono signal, you have a 2-band EQ that enables you to change the high frequencies, the low frequencies, and a cool feature is a built-in reverb function. You are able to switch between 3 different algorithms, and if you press this button, you can also switch the reverb off. We also have a small room, a large room, and a plate algorithm you can choose for your signal, and the level of this reverb is adjusted individually by using this knob. Let's have a listen to the 3 different reverb algorithms. Now let's take a look at the main controls of the mixing desk. We have a separate knob to adjust the sub-level of the system. With this knob, you have a high shelving EQ that can be used to tune the system and the treble. This knob, named main, is used to adjust the main volume of the whole system, sub and tops. We have a limit LED and a built-in limiter that protects the system. So if the limit LED is flashing once in a while, you're perfectly fine. If the limit LED is permanently light up, you should decrease your main volume in order to get a decent sound and not to overload the system. If you're going to use the input 5 and 6, you have to determine whether you want to hear the digital input via SPDIF or the Bluetooth input and the paired device. Another cool feature that our engineers incorporated in the unit is you can switch between the normal stereo configuration and the cluster mode just by holding this button. So in a scenario where you use just one DAVE system and you have one speaker on the left side and one speaker on the right side, you can use the stereo mode for your signal. If you use DAVE in a mono configuration and you have 2 tops on a T-bar closely together, this feature enables us to reduce phase issues that you normally would get when you place 2 speakers so close together, but still retains some stereo information. In another scenario, you could also use this setup if you use 2 DAVE G4X, one on the left side of the stage, the other one on the right side of the stage. But you would have to use the mono input 1 for your left signal on the left side of the stage and mono input 1 for the right signal on the right side of the stage. You have the benefit to use 4 tops in total without any phase interference, and you could use DAVE for a larger band scenario, for instance. Please be aware, if you use a second scenario with 2 DAVEs, one on the left and one on the right side of the stage, that you cross the speaker connections to the satellites on one side of the stage. This enables us to get a symmetrical sound from both sides. So no matter which DAVE system you choose, you would be surprised about the sound, the handling and ease of use of the system. Thank you very much for watching, and remember, having fun making music and using our products. Bye-bye.